Since 2003, this is the Sports Source, East Tennessee's #1 sports talk show.
Brought to you by Junk Be Gone and the Garza Law Firm.
With your host, John Pennington. The Sports Source starts now.
Good Easter Sunday morning to you. Hope you're having a good one. We appreciate you being with us here and joining us for the Sports Source here at the Paper Be Gone Studios, where we're going to have a packed house for you today. We got lots to talk about, obviously. For those who kept up with news last night, Tony Vitello facing a suspension from the SEC. We'll go live to Lindsey Nelson Stadium, talk to John Wilkerson about what's coming for the Vols head baseball coach. Also update you on the injury to last night's starting pitcher. We'll start with football, of course, because spring is winding down and the transfer season's warming up. We'll also talk a little basketball later on. We got a lot to cover. Let's get right into it. First segment of our show brought to you by that company I just mentioned, Paper Be Gone. I had my taxes done this past week, and I am a pack rat. So I have literally 20 years of receipts and records for every year this business has been going. I got them all, kept them all. Well, look, you only need to keep those for about 7 years. So I've got 13 years that I can get rid of. So you know how I'm going to get rid of those? You know how I'm going to dispose of them? The oldest records? Paper Be Gone. That's right. Safe, secure, thorough, and environmentally friendly. They do it all. PaperBeGone.com. They can do it for you if you're a small business like I am, or if you're just a person who needs to get rid of some old records. They can even destroy hard drives, which everybody worries about in this day and age. But if you're a company, oh man, can they take care of you? PaperBeGone.com to learn more. All right, let's welcome in the guys who take care of this show every week. Well, when you're here, then we'll rotate you out to somebody else. The other guys, they don't do as good a job. Vince Ferrara right here from the Sports Animal. Vince, you'll be heading out of here to go over and do baseball once we're done.
Yep.
All right.
It'll be fun.
Thanks for being here.
Appreciate it.
David Ubben from The Athletic is back with us. David, thank you for joining us.
Appreciate it.
Right down there, also from 99.1 The Sports Animal, we have Jimmy Himes. Jimmy, thank you for being here.
Thank you, and I will not go in the transfer portal.
All right, very appreciate that. Not into the portal for me. And right down there, we got Chuck Cavaleris, longtime sports writer and longtime member of this panel. Chuck, thanks for being here.
Hey, thanks for having me, John.
All right, we will get to baseball shortly and the Tony Vitello stuff and everything just in a little while, but let's start with football. As spring practice winds down, all eyes turning to the transfer portal. You've got the May 1st deadline that kids have to tell their programs that we're out of here. So now that spring practice is winding up here and at other places, kids starting to get an idea that, okay, I'm 4th on the depth chart. I'm going to go somewhere where I'm 1st or 2nd on the depth chart. So you're going to start seeing more names go into that thing. Any rumors, any scuttlebutt that anybody's hearing that Tennessee might have some guys? Now look, I would be shocked if any program doesn't have people leaving. But are you getting any strong rumors about anyone of consequence that could be leaving?
I am not.
No.
Heard nothing. Okay.
I agree that it's going to happen,
But I've not heard any. Yeah, I don't know that you're going to see any major names depart.
Yeah.
All right, so now we have to cover that. That's kind of you got to say that. So now that we know that, what are the biggest positions of need? We came into the season, is it the obvious? We came into spring saying, well, they're low on cornerbacks.
Right.
They got lower as spring went on. Is cornerback the #1 A1 top need for this team in the transfer portal?
John, I think so. I mean, you went in with 4 defensive backs that were out, and then when they had a scrimmage, there was another defensive back that was out. That was the main scrimmage they had that kind of replaced the spring game. But they've got a lot of bodies, but I don't know that they've got a lot of SEC caliber players there. And even some of the returning starters, to me, didn't play that well last year. I think that's a huge concern for Tennessee as a secondary.
Yeah, I even had cover corner, right? I mean, to me, that's where it starts. That I think you're going to be missing that guy unless you had that guy, or you're hoping somebody steps up. You can still use defensive backs. I think I would look strong on the whole defensive side of the ball, thinking we can make things work well enough on offense. We can need people here and there, but anywhere on defense, just about.
Well, you've okay. You've broadened it too quickly. Again, position by position. So corner, these two guys are saying, agreed.
I still think linebacker, personally.
Okay.
Linebacker, especially inside. And I think, you can never have too many offensive linemen as well.
We're jumping ahead. Let's do one by one. We want this to be a 7-minute segment, not a 1-minute segment.
Linebacker for me. Corner, you have some needs there, but I think you got some pieces. But I'd go linebacker.
For me, it'd be linebacker that anybody on the edge. You know, they're
Right.
they're not turning down a defensive lineman either. But that edge rusher, you've got a couple of guys you're looking at, and you expect them to take a step forward. But you know, if you can find one out there, and good luck that there's a hidden gem of a pass rusher somewhere out there. But if your weakness is your secondary, and you don't know that you're going to be able to find a corner, well, at least speed the quarterback up on the other end. Vince, he says linebacker. These two say cornerback. Where are you going?
I agree with David, but my number one would be cornerback because the guys that you have coming back, the guys that miss practice, were unproven as it is. I mean, Warren Burrell played a lot, but didn't have a great year. He has potential and talent, but I think that position is so unproven. Christian Charles is a guy that's gotten a lot of compliments, but again, still unknown in how much he's going to be able to hold up in SEC play. So I think corner is number one, but there are others.
And they move safeties to corner.
Right.
Trying to fill that need. Yeah.
Is linebacker next on the list?
Yes.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
After Jeremy Banks, I think you need to elevate that position at linebacker.
I think it's still important to set people's expectations though, because this next round of portal guys, these are not like you have a lot of really, really good players that leave in December for various reasons. But May, these are going to be the guys that figure out they're not going to be playing.
Right.
So
yeah.
the idea that you're going to mine the portal and find some plug-and-play every game starter, that is probably not going to happen. So I think the fact that you still have some bodies at corner, I think building those guys up is going to be, at least for your 2022 team, a better road than, well, we can find a guy in the portal. I just don't think that's going to happen.
More depth pieces.
Yeah, maybe.
And the hope was when you brought in Juwan Mitchell from Texas,
Yes.
who led him in tackles, but he got hurt and he's been a non-factor. And they like what Aaron Willis is doing. He's improving some, but linebacker is definitely a concern, no doubt.
O-line, next on the list?
I would go tackle specifically. Yes. I think they're going to end up moving Darnell Wright from left to right. Don't know that for sure, but Dane Davis got hurt. You got Mincy that transferred in. It is a concern. I don't think they answered that. They went in with a question about it, and I don't think they got it answered. I'm not sure if they know what they're going to do.
And let's don't forget, didn't you think you had a pretty good wide receiver coming in and you lost him to Texas?
Yeah.
So wouldn't you think you would go back to fill that if that was a need?
They're
in the
certainly
mix.
chasing Brew
Yeah,
McCoy
they're in
from
the
mix.
Southern Cal.
Right.
I think they may end up getting him. But again, he's got his own question marks. You know, he's certainly talented. Bounced around to he's gone flipping back and forth from USC to Texas all the time and hasn't really done a whole lot. So a talented guy, but if he finds a home, you can do some things.
Yeah, his USC highlight reel is pretty. I mean, it's a nice catch. It's nothing that makes you're not mouth-watering watching this guy play.
And there's a concern about why he's not on the roster also.
Exactly. So it'll be interesting to see if they can find something that is beneficial. That's a great point, David, because, they did a good job. You got to give Jeremy Pruitt some credit. He did a good job, too. Hooker, Bayless Jones coming in here. But it is unlikely you're going to find somebody at this stage. But let's talk about who has been found. Has Tennessee maximized the transfer portal to date? Let's compare them to the rest of the SEC and to the nation next. We'll show you the list on the Sports Source. Going back.